Hey everyone, welcome back with Mac. Today is the next edition of my RagDas Romhacks. This time we'll have a double feature. Revenji came out first, and then RagDas' seemingly final Romhack is Virtual Pro Wrestling Salvo. Both are based off of Aki's WCW nWo Revenge title. Just like La Fin du Tour, this is a playable on real hardware and there's no direct theme to these mods. It's time to get down to business though, so let's start with Revenji.
So, are you Chinese or Japanese?
It looks like Revenji was made primarily to be a Korean translation of Revenge, so I can't read the menus. Luckily, I have played this game so much that my power exceeds languages. Other than that, we have some big wrestlers in Japan at the time replace their fictional counterparts. Kenta Kobashi, Toshiaki Kawada, Jumbo Tsuruta, Dr. Death, Akira Tue, Genichiro Tenryu, Koji Kitao, Atsushi Onita, Kodo Fuyuyugi, Tarzan Goto, and Tiger Mask are implemented in this game. Masahiro Chono and Terry Gordy. Other than that, there are new textures on the Nitro Arena that were originally meant to be apparently some sort of Halloween-themed arena in Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. The modes between Salvo and Revenji remain the same, so I think it's time to move on to the more popular Virtual Pro Wrestling Salvo. Now, as mentioned, Virtual Pro Wrestling Salvo was also made by RagDas. It seems like the RagDas originally made this mod for his own personal use, but then decided to release it publicly. At least that's what I've heard anyway. This time around, RagDas knows a lot more about what he's doing. So this time around, we have a much larger amount of additions and actually accurate attires. Entirely new characters have been added without the need to replace any pre-existing ones either. Additions include Fake Sting, Ric Flair, and Wrath, who were removed before Revenge was officially released. Then there's an entirely new WWF section that has included the likes of Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, The Rock, Kane, and Mick Foley. Mitsuharu Misawa and even Big Van Vader have been included as well. The fictional characters have been once again converted into their real-life likenesses. In addition to these, there are also hidden attire swaps. For example, Matt and Jeff Hardy are alternative costumes for Billy Kidman. Taka and the Great Sasuke or even the Black Ninja from World Tour can be used as alternative costumes for Rey Mysterio Jr. Same moves, of course, but it is a nice addition. It's also worth noting that a lot of the mask designs cross over into multiple wrestlers. So, for example, if you wanted to have two separate slots for the Hardy Boys, so that way you can play as both of them in championship mode, you can have one act as Billy Kidman, and the other overtake an attire slot of Juventud Guerrera. It doesn't work for all wrestlers, but you can mix and match certain wrestlers to your liking. Other notable textures include Stan Hansen, Terry Gordy, and Bruiser Brody occupying the same character that used to be Dr. Frank. The attires overall in Salvo are much more accurate for everyone involved now, unlike how it was in Revenji, when RagDas was still learning what could be done. But that's not all. I've mentioned Mel Brad 1979 on my channel before. He has an Aki Did You Know section in his Twitter that is filled with plenty of obscure facts and secrets about the series that no one would know without dissecting the in-game code. Mel Brad and RagDas have found and fully implemented a long-lost feature from Revenge that no one seemed to even know about until around the release of this hack. That is, running grapple finishes were intended to be a part of WCW nWo Revenge, but for some reason, they were scrapped altogether. RagDas, with the help of Mel Brad, has put them back into the game. It seems like not everyone has one, but for those who do, you need to be in the special state, and then while running, flick the analog stick to do a running grapple. The moves are usually just normal running attacks, but there is a running diamond cutter grapple. It works for both front and back grapples, and is certainly a welcome addition to this game. None of the arenas, music, or menus were edited for this title, but this is definitely one of RagDas' best works. It's still a popular ROM hack to this day, and with everything I've listed, it is not hard to see why. Everything isn't all sunshine and lollipops though. There are some glitches in this mod to be aware of. First off, sometimes the tires for certain characters like Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels will revert back to their natural state after a match or championship playthrough. Also, when editing the names of some of the WWF guys, they will mess up the names and the tires of other wrestlers. This can be easily fixed though by defaulting the affected wrestlers back to their natural state. Another one to be aware of is that on multi-man matches like tag or battle royals, there is significant slowdown in the frame rates here. So if you're not a fan of the WWF No Mercy style battle royal, this mod might not be for you. The final one I noticed though is kind of a big deal depending on who you were looking forward to playing as. In my experience, Mick Foley is borderline unplayable. Sometimes, or in the case of me trying to get footage for this video, when trying to start a match with Mick Foley, the game will crash on this white screen. It seems with the WWF guys in particular, this happens often. I've tried booting up a match with Kane, Stone Cold, and The Rock, which ended up breaking the game every time. Although with that said, I've had to face Mick in championship mode before, and I've had no issues, so I'm not sure why this happens on some matches, but he works fine in others. Let's finish this off by looking into the various modes available to play in both hacks. First, you have championship mode where you select one of 5 belt options and take on 9 superstars to either win or successfully defend your chosen title. Exhibition has single and tag team options, and of course you have tornado tag matches too. Special match features the option of Battle Royal, which allows up to 40 wrestlers in total. Let's be honest though, to this day, I don't know the difference between preset order and random, since they both just seem to be random to me. Handicap matches are 2-on-1 affairs and have tag or tornado options too. The final mode is costume change, where you can edit the names and outfits of the wrestlers in the game. The attire choices come down to body types essentially. Some wrestlers have alternate masks for even more attire options. Other than the ability to check out your match high scores in the options menu, that's about it for these hacks. While Virtual Pro Wrestling Salvo seems to have been his final ROM hack, there is one more by RagDas that is worth looking into. Next week, we'll check out what RagDas has done with WWF WrestleMania 2000. That's all for this video today, but thank you so much for joining me here. If interested, like and subscribe to see more Aki reviews, comparisons, and evolutions. Ring the notification bell to be notified of Aki content every Saturday and Sunday, but above all else, please remember to have a nice day.